Hi everyone, and welcome back to my Monday. It's been a while since I posted these videos because I started a business recently, so I've been putting all my energy into that. But I'm back, I'm here, I'm ready, and I'm making content for you all. And I am finally coming back with my side hustle video that I promised. So for those of you who are new here, I'm Fleming. I'm a college student at Georgetown University, and I post weekly videos in a series called Maya Monday. And I just talk about empowerment, self-care, wellness stuff, just stuff to help you on your transition to adulthood. So if you're interested, subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos and give this video a thumbs up. So in today's video, of course, we're talking about side hustles. So I'm a college student, like I said, most of y'all are, or you're just in entry-level positions, and that means often the pockets and the wallets are on E. So I am here to help you earn some extra summertime cash. So I'm going to go through all of the side hustles and online gigs that I have tried, and I'm going to let you know whether or not I recommend them for you, whether or not they were actually lucrative for the amount of time that they took, and what I actually thought that I enjoy it. And if you're interested in more information, then I'll have a little more in-depth guide in the description box. It'll be totally free, just free for you to download or look through, and that'll get you some more information. So let's go ahead and get started. These are in no particular order. I just made a list of things that I've tried, and I'm just gonna let you know what I think. Also, I don't know if it's too windy outside. I don't know if you can actually hear the opening scene of The Wizard of Oz going through my window. So hopefully you can't. If you can, I'm sorry. So first thing is photography. So I started doing photography because I wanted a camera for YouTube, and the photography class at my high school gave students a free camera. So I started doing that, and then when I got to college, it was a great way for me to earn some extra income and set my rate and just set hours for whenever I had some free time and wanted some extra cash. So I've done jobs for couples, for engagement shoots and vow renewals, for on-campus organizations doing their club photos, and just things like that. So I have really enjoyed doing photography because it lets you be creative and also get paid for that. I wouldn't say it's my life passion by any means, but that's why I have it as a side hustle, because I do enjoy it. I am good at it, and it's not anything I want to take full time, but it's still really fun for me. So as long as you have a nice camera, and it doesn't have to be a hugely expensive camera, but it needs to be something more than an iPhone, because you want to be able to offer your potential clients something that they can't do on their own. So if you just have an iPhone, they could snap those photos for free. So you want to be able to offer them something, and also some basic editing skills. Nothing too fancy. As long as you're taking good photos, you really don't have to do that much editing. And then just a good eye, be able to tell if things are in focus, if they're balanced, be able to do some good composition with photography. Those are the only things that you need to get started, and I totally recommend this one if you love being creative, if you love working with other people and being involved in some of life's most intimate moments. Then this is totally a side hustle that you should consider. So next up, I have babysitting. Babysitting is one of my favorite side hustles because I love kids, and it's really cool. I would say if you don't like being with children, don't do babysitting because it will drive you absolutely wild and up the wall. So if you love kids like I do, if you like spending time with them, and if you have good experience with managing children, then babysitting is definitely for you. I use care.com, but there's also Sitter City, I think, and there are a lot of websites that you can do to find babysitting jobs. Care has always worked really nicely for me. I typically work with only about one or two families at a time because I like to get to know fewer families better than work with a million families I don't know very well. So I would definitely recommend babysitting. It is a great way to earn a good amount of income, especially if you're in a city. You can be really competitive with your pricing. So I would totally recommend this one. It's really, really fun. And often, a lot of times you go and do your babysitting and you put the kid to sleep halfway through your job. I've gone to some where the child is already asleep when I get there. I just need to watch. So you're getting paid to sit there and watch TV or sit there and study or something like that. So I would totally look into babysitting if you like children. So next up, I have blogging. So blogging is one of those that always comes up in all of the little articles on how to make extra income. But unfortunately, it does take a little bit of time to make money blogging. It's not an overnight thing at all. You don't set up your blog and then boom, 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 accounts blowing up. That's not how it happens. But if you have some extra time and you want to build into a side hustle, then blogging is definitely a great way to go. Even if you just do a few articles and kind of let them sit there and regularly share them and do like periodic updates and place ads on there and have good like traffic flowing through Pinterest and other social media things, that'd be a great way for you to earn some income. And I'll include a Pinterest board I have of like actual blogger income reports, so you can see just how much money people are actually making on blogs. You'll be really, really surprised. But if you're interested in a topic, if you have information to share, if you're passionate about something, I would totally recommend you starting a blog, and then over time you will start to see some income come in. So next up, I have modeling. So I have never done modeling for like actual money, but I've done modeling in exchange for clothing, which is for me just as nice because I don't have to spend that much money on clothes and I can put that money elsewhere. So if you live in a place that has some local boutiques, some things like that, maybe there's a photographer near you who needs models and is willing to pay with, money or maybe even food, I would totally look into that, especially if you want to build into a career as a model or some type of personality, or if you are a social media influencer, you need some photos. This would be a totally great little side hustle, side gig for you. Just do your research, figure out who the people that you need to be contacting are in your area, reach out to them, be confident in that, and just, show up for every gig, really, really willing to step out into the position. So I totally recommend this if you are photogenic, if you like to play around in front of the camera, then this might be the side hustle for you. So next up, I have an online gig, and it is online surveys. So this one is always on all of the lists, and y'all, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. I've done every single online survey site. You have a little bit more luck whenever you're just starting out, but a lot of the sites will give you a bonus for signing up. And then you might get like a good $10 gift card out of the first couple of days, but after that it's really, really slow and really, really hard to get enough points to exchange for actual gift cards or cash, and I just wouldn't recommend it. It's so much time. You could get an actual job and make just immensely more money than what you'll be making on the survey site. So I would tell you, I don't recommend this. It's not worth it. Just find something better to do with your time. So next up, I have reselling. So if you have extra electronics, extra clothes, any other possessions that you're not really as interested in, that you're willing to let go but are still in good condition, I would really consider reselling them. There are a variety of ways you can do that, whether it be through eBay or some other online site. I personally have never used those, but if you go to pawn shops or those secondhand clothing stores like Buffalo Exchange or Plato's Closet, those are also ways to resell. Keep in mind that when you use shops like that, they need to make a profit off of the item that you're bringing to them, so they often won't offer you nearly as much as what you paid for it or nearly as much as what it's actually worth. So be mindful of that. You might have better luck selling online on eBay or Poshmark, or just selling directly to a potential buyer. So just do your research, figure out where you can get the most sale, and if you have some things lying around that are worth a little bit of money, consider letting them go, but just do your research in how you go about doing that. But otherwise, I totally recommend this. So next up is another kind of online gig that doesn't have to be online, and it's freelance writing. So I did freelance writing through textbroker.com. It was really cool because I could do smaller jobs that took me just a short amount of time to do, and I earned a good amount of extra money for it. I wouldn't say it's going to pay any bills unless you're really devoting all day to it. I only did it in my free time, but it was definitely enough to feel okay about eating out or getting a cup of coffee when I had coffee at home. So just things like that, even if it just offsets kind of your spending money, I think it's totally worth it. And like I said, I use Textbroker, but there are so many other websites you can use. There's Upwork. You could work directly with a publication or something and just be their freelance writer and just have a couple of jobs that you normally do and contracts. There are a variety of ways you can go about that, and I will include some links in the description box for you on how to be a successful freelance writer. A lot of people that I see online have their own websites for this. If you just want to work from home, have some more control over your schedule, work on pieces that you actually enjoy, then I would totally recommend this. One thing about text broker is that you often have to write about stuff that you don't really care about or that you don't know that much about, and that makes it kind of agonizing, at least for me, because you have to do so much more research, and if it's just not something that interests me, I don't feel inspired enough to actually do it. So I would really look out for pieces about subjects that you enjoy, do some research, figure out what you like, and gravitate towards those things. So otherwise, I totally recommend freelancing if you are a writer and if you enjoy writing. So the last thing I have is transcribing. So I actually started transcribing when I was maybe in junior high or elementary school to help out my grandma with her professional typing business. But since then, I've found other websites that let you transcribe online for a good amount of pay. I've been using rev.com. And same with text broker. You have a great way to offset your spending costs with coffee, eating out, things like that. I wouldn't say it's going to pay any major bills, but it's still a really great way to bring in some extra income so that your main source can kind of go towards those larger bills and larger purchases. So this is a really cool way if you are fine with being disciplined enough to sit through a whole recording and you can be meticulous in your transcribing, then I totally recommend it for you. Sometimes it's really therapeutic for me to just listen to it, type it out, and there's always a job that's got an audio that's really, really interesting. I've learned a lot through transcribing and freelance writing just because I had a random topic or I had to listen to a random conversation that was really entertaining and really funny. When I first started doing it, I listened to court cases, and those were always interesting. If you like Judge Judy and all those other court shows, then you would probably like transcribing because you're listening to these cases. They're always funny, and you're getting paid to just type out what they say. So I totally recommend you look into that. Like I said, I'll have a link in the description box with some more information on how to be successful with these different side hustles and online gigs. And I hope you heard something useful. If you did, let me know in the comment section which side hustle you're going to try, and let me know which ones you've tried and if you recommend them or not, if you agree with me and my take. So with all that being said, I will see you again soon, and I can't wait. Welcome back to Maya Monday. Welcome me back to Maya Monday. I'm so excited to be here, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.